When Christopher Columbus set sail from Europe for the second time, he commanded not 3 but 17 ships. He told himself, "I will return to Hispaniola and find the men I left on that island waiting to help me. We will find the wealth of Asia and be rich." Everything seemed to be working perfectly. But the most important word in that statement is seemed. In fact, this time Columbus was sailing straight into trouble. Reaching Hispaniola, he found that the fort his men had assembled from the wooden planks of the Santa Maria was gone. There was no sign of the sailors he had left there earlier. Something was terribly wrong. Columbus spoke with a few of the native island people, whom he still insisted on calling Indians. He learned that while he was away, the Spanish crew had been unkind to the native people and had taken advantage of them. Columbus had originally come in peace, but his greediness and the greediness of his sailors had changed things on the island. The men who had sailed with Columbus on his second voyage also treated the natives badly and were just as greedy for treasure. Once more, Columbus and his crew took advantage of the natives. They were forced to work for no pay, carving mines into the high mountainsides. "There's gold in those mountains," Columbus and his men told one another, "and we didn't sail all this way just to leave it there." But they did not find as much gold as they had expected. When Columbus returned to Spain from this second voyage, the king and queen did not like the report that he gave them. Isabella said, "We will let you sail a third time for us, but you had better find spices and more gold this time." On his third voyage, Columbus thought, "Surely this time I'll find a city rich with gold and spices like those I've heard about." But all he saw were jungles. During his search, Columbus became very sick. Weak and discouraged, he ordered his men to head for Hispaniola. When they got there, Columbus was surprised to find that a nobleman sent by Ferdinand and Isabella was waiting for him. The reason the king and queen had sent the nobleman is because they'd heard, after the second voyage, that Columbus was treating the native people cruelly and was keeping the gold for himself. The nobleman had been ordered to spy on Columbus and to arrest him if this turned out to be true. Indeed, the nobleman heard from many people on the island how Columbus and his men had mistreated the native people of Hispaniola. The nobleman announced, "Christopher Columbus, you are being charged with keeping all the gold and treasures for yourself and therefore doing a terrible job as governor. The king and queen will decide your fate." Columbus sailed the long journey home to Spain, not as the ship's commander as he had once been, but as a prisoner heading to jail. He wondered how he would be greeted by Queen Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. At first, when Columbus arrived in Spain, he was thrown in jail. Later, when he appeared before the king and queen, they were shocked by the difference in the man they now saw before them. His hair had turned completely white. His body had grown bent and weak, and the man who had boldly stepped forward in the past now limped into their presence. King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella were ashamed. They took pity on Columbus and ordered that he be released from jail. They set Columbus free and ordered his share of the wealth to be returned to him. Their Majesties shattered Columbus's dreams of returning to his former importance by announcing, "You are free, but you will no longer be the governor of our new empire." They put someone new in charge of Hispaniola and the lands beyond. The king and queen told Columbus, "We will give you one last chance to find the wealth of Asia." They gave him a few old ships that hardly seemed strong enough to make it out of the harbor out onto the open sea. So Columbus took those rotting Spanish ships safely across the Atlantic. Sailing up and down the lush green coast, he searched once more for the Asian cities he still believed must be there. Of course they were not, and not finding them, he did not go ashore to explore. Discouraged, Columbus returned to Spain once again without the gold and spices he desired. Christopher Columbus never set sail again. He died still believing that he had found the Indies, but other explorers disagreed. They realized that instead of Asia, Columbus had actually found a place that Europeans had never known about, between Asia and Europe. Because they had never known before about this place and it was new to them, they called it the New World. Today, every year in October, Americans remember Christopher Columbus's arrival in the Americas back in 1492. This day is called Columbus Day. Later, you will learn about a group of people called the Vikings who sailed to North America even before Christopher Columbus did. Historians from many countries have researched and retold the story of Christopher Columbus many times over. It means different things to different people, but one thing we know for sure is that Columbus's mistake changed the world.